Hi, welcome back to Show Me Trucks. In this video, I'm gonna continue trying to get the frame rails ready so I can start putting cross members in. What I'm up to right now is I need this rear cab mount to mount where it's at now. Already measured back from where I cut, and I put a mark. Basically what I'm gonna do is I'm going to drill these rear holes and then make sure that these front holes line up where I have them marked. And once I clamp that down, I'll drill these holes. If you drill all four, sometimes you're just off a little bit and it sucks to run your bolts through. We're getting to some fun stuff. So I finally finished welding up this side. I welded that patch on the inside and then welded this big beefy support. TIG welded the whole thing, so just like that one. So that's obviously where the shackle hangs out. Now I'm trying to get the chassis up to ride height, where it's going to be with taller tires, but with weight on them, the 31 3/4. So what I did is I lifted up the axle, the appropriate amount for the tires. I also lifted up the axle higher because I'm gonna get 2-inch lift springs. Now what I'm gonna do is get all my measurements from my mounting points to the ground, mark all those. Once I get everything measured, I can get these frame rails out of the way, knocking a ton of rivets out, getting all my supports out of here, which would be sweet. Get all my measurements. All I'm gonna do is I am going to drill my holes, get everything mounted in the front. The rear, I obviously have to adjust later because I actually need to pull the rear way closer because it's a long bed. This guy over at Robert's Garage sent me these stickers. No one sent me anything yet. I was really hoping for welders and plasma cutters and all sorts of fun, expensive stuff. But these stickers are cool. I just sold my blue truck, but I love how he's got a little 67 on there. So shout out, Robert's Garage, so check them out. I've been doing some stuff that's not that exciting to watch. So what I did is I marked on the floor where the bolt and where the edge of the frame is and where the other bolt lines up. And I basically I ran a plumb bob from this bolt is the one that's important to me, where it runs all the way down to the floor. I did that on both sides. I did it on the inside of the bolt also. Just so I could get my center line. If you never used a plumb bob, obviously they've been around for a couple thousand years. But it's just a string with a weight on it. Shows you what straight down is, obviously. I also wanted to mark all my measurements on all my points from the floor down to certain points. Because my garage floor obviously is not perfect, you can never assume it is. Yeah, I don't have a frame table or anything like that. I'm not building that. It's a full drive. There's so much variance that yes, I'm gonna measure and make sure everything's straight and lined up and measure diagonal and all that. But if it's off a little, that's how it was from the factory. Trust me, these things are not perfect at all. You'll see there's a bunch of stuff like where the cab bushings go, the hole's not even close to centered on those. Like, it's crazy that from the factory that was that far off. But so I marked everything up front. I'm gonna do the front first and then worry about the back next. The front is fairly similar as far as the frame dimensions. So what I'm gonna do is start taking shocks and everything off and get ready to disassemble all the cross members, get this frame out of the way. I have the axles on jack stands, front and rear. That way they stay where they need to be. I also measured where the axle runs down into the floor. That way I know if anything shifts around, I can shift it back and get it exactly where I need it. I also marked where the jack stands are. I just want to make sure that nothing moves. And if it does, it's all fixable. It's not the end of the world. But that way I can get this frame out of the way. And because if I assemble my 67 frame, I will not be able to carry it over and set it on top of this. I'm going to disassemble this whole frame and bring mine over in pieces and assemble it on top of the axles. Because I'm doing it by myself, you gotta kind of think differently. So that's one of the issues, but I'm gonna start disassembling this. I might start knocking some of the rivets out, some of the easy ones, but a lot of the rivets are hard to get to, so I'm gonna do what I can. I would love to get all the cross members out. That way I can just move the frame rails by themselves like I was doing with the 67. And then continue to knock all the rivets out. I'm gonna just pull what I need off of it and not worry about wasting time getting all the rivets off. Another thing I'll show you guys, that anything that you want off this frame is held on by every rivet known to man. This one cross member, I'm assuming this holds your transfer case. Look at that. I have 6 rivets on one side. That's ridiculous. I can't wait to drill all those out. And then I bought 1/2-inch bolts because they didn't have 7/16, and I'll drill everything out and run 1/2-inch grade 8 bolts.